Hello, JCI members, JCI partners, and JCI friends all over the world. Good day, and welcome to another exciting interview of the JCI Alumni Recognition Program. I am Ghalia Musalli, JCI 2024 Syria National President, and I'm currently a member of the JCI AMIC 40 Years Planning Committee. Today, I have with me, all the way from beautiful Mauritius, JCI Passport President Arnaud Godere.
Hello. Hello,
Hello,
everybody.
President. Do you know that the first AMIC I ever attended as a JCI member was in 2019 in Mauritius?
Oh, we should have met then, I'm sure.
It's one of the most beautiful countries I have ever seen.
Thank you.
Okay, President Arnaud, I'm very honored by the opportunity to get to know you. I've heard so much about your outstanding leadership journey from members, from partners, and lots of other people. So to begin, I would like you to share your journey within JCI and how you heard about the organization and how you slowly became involved. We all start very slowly and then it's an addiction. We just find ourselves very committed to this place.
Yes. Well, thank you, Galia. Good question. After my university studies, 4 years, I joined a company in edible oil and was in charge of marketing of this company, marketing manager. And I was young, 20 years. Socially, I was okay, and professionally, I was superb for me to start the journey. But then I was looking for a network of young professionals, because I wanted to network and meet other professionals in my field of business. So one of my customers came to me and told me we have a talk by someone from France, Christian Dupont, because the father of our organization, who is Michel Despéville, he was looking forward to launch an organization called La Jeune Chambre Économique, Junior Chamber. So I went to this talk by Christian Dupont and met a lot of young professionals like me in various fields, and they were looking forward, therefore, to set up a local organization of the Jeune Chambre Économique Française at that time in 1980. So this is when I started to join our beloved organization and discovered how it functioned as a young member, especially working on committees, on projects. There were a lot of projects, I remember, like a health card, like the summertime, and many others that I was really seeing this as an enriching experience. And then two other JCs, Daniel Wong and Mauritius Katasami, we sat down and said, why not we affiliate ourselves to the big family of Junior Chamber International? So I was the secretary then of the LOM and started to fill the papers with them. And we had very close connection with the headquarters in Miami, in Coral Gables, Miami, to prepare our dossier, our file for affiliation. And then I started to make a big trip to my first big trip to Canada, to Montreal World Congress. It was, I remember, November, very cold there. And this is where I discovered JCs in 1994. We presented our application for full affiliation, and we got it in 1994. And this is when I really understood what is JCI, the General Assembly, the parliamentary procedure, the various training programs, all the changing business cards with members from all over the world, all the nights, the Viking nights, the French night, the Japanese night, the USA night. And at that time, the Congress was 7 days, 7-day Congress. Also, the election of the president and the EVPs and also vice president. So for me, it was a shock to see like the world in 1 week, young people from 80 to 40, and I was amazed. And this is the first time I saw a world president, and with charisma. He made speeches without talking, without saying, is talking freely, without papers, without preparation, shaking hands with everybody, taking pictures. And this was Joe Murphy from Ireland. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. And believe me, it was in 1984, and I didn't believe that 10 years afterwards, I would have become a world president, 10 years after our affiliation. So I don't know whether this is a record, but it did happen. It happened because I was consistent in JCI, learning a lot from our different training programs, sharing with others what I learned from JCI also. It's a give and take. A lot of sharing, and what's the beauty of it is it's a 1 year to lead organization. So you take a position for 1 year, you deliver, and you move on. And I've been doing this and started in the international arena, the taste of international responsibilities in 1989, where I was executive assistant for the world president. At that time, it was Isfahani Samin. And in Swaziland, there was the AMEC. And I started, therefore, to understand really what it is to be responsible and to hold a function on the international level. So then it continued, 1990. I was in Birmingham, elected JCI vice president. I was, I think, the 4th candidate in the road to be elected after the Japanese Yusuke Saraya, the American Greg Thompson, the one from Sweden, a candidate from Sweden that was came to Mauritius last time. I met him, and I was the 4th one. So the shock that I had, and this is where I think JCI should think again about it, is that coming from Africa, coming from a small island like Mauritius, imagine I was assigned to Europe, to the Scandinavian countries. I didn't even know where Iceland was on the map of the world. And thanks to JCI, 4 times I've been to Iceland, to British Isles, to Scotland, to Ireland, to UK. So this was for me a great experience where I had really to stretch myself and to really deliver beyond limits. But what was interesting, in fact, is it was again a win-win situation, because coming from a small island like Mauritius, coming from Africa, the Scandinavians, the British, they learned from me as I learned from them about cultural exchange, the way of operating and all that. So it was very interesting, because I never imagined that I could therefore add value and create an impact. So then after 1990, in 1991, I took a rest and prepared myself for EVP. And I stood as candidate in Helsinki World Congress in Finland. I was elected EVP and again assigned to Europe. And at that time, the big responsibility for me and the big happening was the fall of the Berlin Wall, I think in 1989. And all these countries from Eastern Europe, they wanted to join JCI. The Baltic countries, Russia, Poland, and all that, they were queuing up, and we had to really sort of preparing ourselves to welcome these countries, whether provisional, potential, or full affiliation in JCI. So that was amazing. I had therefore a wonderful area conference, European conference in Geneva, where 3,000 delegates attended there. So after the EVP position in 1992, I said to myself, for me, JCI is over. I have to go and retire. Why? Because the next step would be the position of world president. A small country like Mauritius, it's impossible for me, in my mind, it was impossible to be elected as a world president. Impossible. So I went back home. I said, bye-bye, JCI. You brought me a lot of things. Now I am going to concentrate on other things, professional, family, and everything. And then I had a message. At that time, they call it fax. A fax from a friend from Philippines who became world president afterwards, Chris Pindi. He told me, come and attend the ASPAC in Taiwan, in Taipei. Because then you can see whether you can stand as candidate and, see what is the movement, what is the tendency. So I went there. I went to Taiwan, Taipei World Congress in 1993. And I sort of tested whether there was a possibility for me to become candidate. And I saw that I could get the support of Asia, probably Americas, and for Africa, most probably, yes. And as I was always assigned to Europe as VP and EVP, I knew a lot of the European friends there. So I said, maybe it could work. So I went back home to therefore officially declare that I'll be a candidate for JCI president. We'll see whether we will be elected or not. And in my mind, I thought there would be many candidates, 5 maybe. And when the official list of candidates appeared, there was only 2, one from India, Sunil Kumar, and myself. And then we had a very intense campaign. And this is something also that I regret probably, is before we had a lot of competition between candidates. And that really brought the organization to a better level, a higher level. When you have competition in World Congress, this is great. Huh? There's a lot of fun, a lot of, politics, of course. You have beautiful caucus and all that. So this is what I did. And I was in Hong Kong World Congress in 1993, elected JCI president. And this completely changed my life. But the beauty of it is I was president in a year when JCI celebrated its 50th anniversary, its golden anniversary. And that was wow, because our organization, as you know, was internationally born in 1944. So 1994, when I was president, 50 years of anniversary. So this is a bit of the journey of my journey. But in fact, what the, let's say, the recipe is to be always serious, to learn, to serve the organization, to be present, to have the right attitude, and because it brings a lot to us, and it's an organization that provides a lot of opportunities. That's a bit my journey in a nutshell. Kaya.
This is a very healthy journey. Like I say, I always advise members to go the leadership ladder little by little and not to jump right away to a position and the opportunities they have to build on to reach that level. You have told us so much about your journey. I want you to summarize what inspired you. You told me a lot, and I can tell from what you said, but I want it to be summarized. What inspired you to become world president, and what was your vision during your leadership here?
Well, every JCs, which is, as you said, little by little climbing the ladder, the dream is to become a world president. But not everybody can become a world president, unfortunately, as when we are in this organization. But having said that, there are many positions, leadership positions in our organization, whether it be in training field, whether it be in management field, and others. You can see leaders, politics of their countries. You can see always emerging JCs who's gone through all the organization's philosophy and belief. And for me, when I was president, since it was the 50 years of our organization, I said, let's go back to basics, to our founder members, Henri Gissinbier, and all that, and try to get a bit of a gist of what their purpose was to create our organization. And I remember going on the, let's say, in St. Louis, Missouri, where you had the, how you call this, the tomb of the founder members. And I try in every country that I visited to therefore share with them, to give them this feeling that we are an organization that has been there for 50 years, that has created an impact, that have produced a lot of leaders in many fields. And therefore, why don't you also take as an example our founder members and our leaders to really create an impact in your own community, in your own country. And this has, I think, really helped. 50 years was an opportunity to do that for me. It was real opportunity. And like also the creed with William Brownfield, the words of the creed, they are really meaningful. So I try to share this with our organization. Also, I try to share that you don't have to be in a big organization, I don't know, like US, Japan, one in Europe, to become a leader of JCI, to become a president of JCI. We had examples. Look at Isfahani Samin from Sri Lanka, became world president. Look at Oe Sunkar from Dominican Republic. He became world president. There are many examples. And I'm very happy because in Africa, as you mentioned, I think we have 5 post-world presidents today, whether Francophone, Anglophone. So this is possible. Everything is possible. If you grasp the opportunity, you are serious, you really have the right attitude, you will get there. This is true.
I believe so too. Okay, this is a question I like, but a difficult one. What is your most memorable achievement or your favorite project from your time as national president, as world president, sorry?
Yes, there are many, there are many, there are many. But I think the biggest happening on that year was the 50th anniversary, okay? So the World Congress was in Japan, Kobe, and it was there that officially was celebrated this 50 years. My motto was go for gold. Everybody knew that motto around the world, go for gold. And JCI added strive for excellence. Go for goal and strive for excellence. So this was an invitation for members to surpass themselves, to really shine, and to really deliver very positive results in their respective communities, country, national organization, etc. Therefore, for the benefit of the world, in terms of peace, in terms of environment, in terms also of friendship, fellowship. In every country that I visited, 73 countries I visited in 1994, so they call me the cutting cake president because they couldn't everybody go to Japan for the World Congress, though there was, I believe, over 10,000 delegates, more than 10,000. And the opportunity was given at the presence of the world president to celebrate this 50 years anniversary. And the biggest impact that I believe that really we are talking about it now is the environmental impact. We had a motto from Japan called Mutanai. So the spirit of Mutanai was therefore to save energy, to really don't waste things, and JCs all over the world, they were invited to protect the environment, to be careful through this Mutanai spirit of what they are not spoiling the environment and all that. And look at today, we are talking about climate change. This is high on the agenda, climate change. All this disruption that you have in the weather all over the world. You see heavy rains, floods, and whatever, destroying homes, roads, habitation, cyclones. Where I am in Mauritius, we just had 2 cyclones heavy that we didn't have with gusts of 250 kilometers in Mayotte and in Réunion Island. So therefore, I think JCs, what I've learned is we train tomorrow's leaders, we create tomorrow's leaders, and we are always proactive. And we should keep this proactivity in our approach, in our projects, in our way of thinking. And it's tougher now because the world is evolving so rapidly with the ChatGPT, for example. It's AI and all that. So it's created a lot of disruption, but we have to take the positive side of it for the benefit of our organization. So that's a bit my thinking about this.
Okay. It brings me to think JCI has given all of us so much, especially for those who have given in return to JCI. How did the organization shape your personal and professional growth? I'm sure it had a role somewhere.
Well, if I'm talking to you this evening, to the members, to our area, Africa and the Middle East, well, it's thanks to what JCI has brought to me. I breathe JCI. I live JCI. Probably I'll die for JCI. Because I may have gone to university like many of others, but JCI is a university of life. Really, JCI is a university of life. We have learned so much in this organization. We learn how to speak in public, to really our shyness, to get rid of it. We learn how to run meetings through parliamentary procedure, through Robert's Rule of Order. We learn how to negotiate, how to interchange with different cultures. Like you are from Syria, I'm from Mauritius. Well, I would never imagine one day to have a nice, beautiful Syrian lady asking me questions. This is only happening in JCI. You see? We learn how to fight for environment, fight for peace. So I think that what I've learned, therefore, through this organization, the question I have asked myself is, you have to give it afterwards. You have to share with first our members. Last Sunday at 2 o'clock, it's Sunday, 2 o'clock, I went to the JCI Mauritius Nom Lom training, and I've spoken to the members for, I don't know, it lasted maybe 2 hours. If we didn't had a stop somewhere, it could have continued for hours. And I shared my vision, my experience with them, because they have to understand that they can become tomorrow a leader. I remember when I was a young JC, maybe 24, 25 years old, somebody said to me in the room, we were many JCs, I'm sure in this room one day we'll have a world president. So we all were laughing. We said, who's going to become a world president in this room at that time? But then it happened that I became a world president. So you have to give a lot to the organization first. But this has also enabled me to take positions in many parastatal bodies in my country, like Export Processing Zone Development Authority, the export of textile. I don't know anything about textile at that time, but this is because of my leadership experience that I chaired the board, and I knew how to also chair a board of directors. I become afterwards the chairman of the Mauritius Post Limited, the post office in Mauritius, chairman, and its bank also, the Post and Cooperative Bank. I also, as I work for Shell Oil Companies, an oil man in profession for how many years? 30 years. The government brought me in the Petroleum Pricing Committee, the committee that decides on will be the price at the pump. And these are examples that I don't ask. They come to me and ask whether you could help your country with your experience and everything. So, and I'm very happy about this because it proved that JCI really has, in my own development, brought a lot of things that means that it's worthwhile sharing, worthwhile managing, worthwhile leading in others' organizations. And then the last thing I wanted to tell you is in JCI, I never was not elected in any election. I was always elected. Thanks God, always. But then I said to myself, let's try politics. The local national politics, and I stood candidate in the year 2000 as in constituency where I have been growing up, going to school, college, and everything, and I lost. But the fact of losing this election has brought me a lot of positive things, because I learned what is politics first, whether I can be, someone that is serving now, not JCs, but the ordinary people and all that in my constituency, in the constitution that I was standing as candidate, but also to learn things that you won't get in JCs. That is how people live, how people fight in their life, how all is, and this was very enriching. And well, now I am more or less retired in all this. Yes.
Well, your leadership is a real legacy, and your members are very lucky to have you. I think that your leadership is still impacting young leaders. Can you tell us more about how it's happening, especially around JCI in Africa and the Middle East, not only Mauritius?
Yes, I think there is one thing that is really needed in this world that we are living actually present. We don't have enough role models. When I was younger, I always had some role models, people that I said, leaders that I want to copy, to try to follow and say, I want to be like that. I want to be like that. So this position of JCI World President in Africa with my other colleagues, let's say pairs of World President, I think we are all role models for the area. And I'm very happy, for example, tonight we are having this alumni program because this showed to the young generation, the present generation, those leaders, those role models. And it's good because we come from different areas, Tunisia, Mauritius, Cameroon, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, different francophone, anglophone, and all that. And we are examples. We have to keep being like that. And JCI has to really make use of us as those role models. And I am very happy about something. Before there was this term of PWP. So they say this is a past world president. So when he's past world president, it means that he's already buried. He's no more president. But now it's very, since I think it was President Chiara from Italy that really said, no, we are all president for life. Once a president, always a president, always a role model, always JCs has to be inspired by us, by what we've been doing. And we have all been successful in the year that we were delivering as a leader our terms of office. Everybody in his own manner, each of us, in its own way, its own background, culture. So I think this is very good, and we have to get more now, more presidents in your area, for example. It's very nice one day in Middle East, in the Francophone area and all that. No. And this is where it will create an impact and change. Bring a lot of changes, a lot of momentum, a lot of drive, a lot of motivation for our members. Like I said last time when I've been speaking to these Mauritian JCs on a Sunday, well, there was one who told me, Mr. President, I'm sorry, in 5 minutes I will have to leave. And then at the end of the talk, he was still there. He never left. So then I said, so that's an impact that has been created. Yeah, he wasn't. I told him, you were not supposed to leave in 5 minutes. So it was very captivating. He was taken up and he never left. So I think this is very good, and we should be going around area conferences, World Congress, to be seen and to be, met, and to have a chance also to talk to others. So that's my answer.
This is why we are waiting for you in Durban in May.
Thank you. Good.
Okay, counting on this very long experience, I'm sure you are very proud of. Can you tell us about some initiative or program you are very proud of, and how you see that it's still impacting JCI today?
Well, JCI in 1994, when I go back, there was no, in terms of communications, there was no telephone, mobile phone. No. There was no WhatsApp. There were faxes. I remember waking up at night and headquarters under my door, there was all these papers from JCI that you had to read, headquarters, and to approve. So the world has changed a lot. But at that time, what I can say is the philosophy has remained the same. The philosophy of our organization, the creed never changed. It's still same lines, same words. And it's a question of when you are serving at that time, at the situation of this period, this era, that you have to therefore understand and try to impact on the community. In my times, I remember, for example, this is something that has probably more or less disappeared, and we are not talking about that, is AIDS. 1994, I remember going to, when we would travel in Africa especially, AIDS was a big problem. And I remember visiting in Zimbabwe, a sort of NGO, let's say, house that was taking care of little children, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, who were affected by AIDS. And that was terrible to see these kids. They were not playing, they were really, the face was. So I'm glad that this has changed, but we JCs, we were trying, they were running these projects, these ONGs that were taking care of that. So today we have got, a few years ago, we had another problem, pandemic, all over the world, and it has changed. So you have to see what you can do in your terms, in your era, about the problems facing the world. So I mentioned environment at that time. For me, Mutanai, as I said, the spirit was something very strong that we try to be proactive, which I'm very proud of, because it has been with the Japan JCs especially, we have been able worldwide to travel and spread the spirit, and I was an ambassador to spread this all over the world. There were problems which was not probably of the same dimension in terms of environment, but it has gone worse, and we could have bring our little contribution, therefore, to it. But the fact that we have now, we have different continents, different areas, problems, challenges facing those 4 areas are not the same very often. It's different, whether in Africa, in the Middle East, in Latin America. So you have to adapt, adjust, and support the JCs. The strongest pillar of our organization, for me, is the LOMS. All the local organizations around the world, they are the strongest that has to be really looked after, nurtured, supported, the members, trade and all that. This, for me, is very important. At that time, we had a very good motto, is think locally, act globally. That was good. Think locally with the LOMS, then we act, globally by making an impact and showing how we are really contributing positively. Other things that very good, we try to promote our awards. Because awards is a recognition of all the good work done at various levels, especially LOMS. What I'm proud of, what I've learned also from my peers, is when you become a president, whether locally, nationally, world president, you have to keep your feet on the ground. always keep your feet on the ground. And you are not a god or whatever. And be close to the members, be close to the alums, support them, recognize them, try to really make them feel that really what they are doing are important, are valuable, are recognized. So that was sort of what I am proud of, if you want, because I tried to really keep things simple, to the ground, and close to members, my members, our members. And this, I think, contributed a lot to, especially in this year, 50th anniversary at that time, to make them know that they are part of the success of our organization. Yes.
It's true that JCI is a powerful network and it gives you friendships and people for life. Can I know how JCI helped you build those meaningful relationships and how did it expand beyond your presidency? How did you keep that?
Well, I think when you got that virus, JCI virus, you got it, it's forever. Forever. Well, I'm still talking and sharing and being excited about JCI, about what I did, what others have done, whatever. It's a virus that, for life. Now, you are in an organization that has got 4 areas of opportunities. Community, fantastic projects of community that you can impact on your country. You have also individual development, training. That was great to be able to, at my time, learn about time management. Vanguard leader. These was programs that really make you grow, think, show that you can, as a leader, drive forward projects. Also, in terms of business networking, correct? And I remember when in 1994 we had 5 area conferences, and there was the Bali Business Conference, which was we started to initiate the International Business Network of JCI, because we are all the world members who are close to businesses, got their own businesses, who are entrepreneur and all that. So many JCs around the world, they partner together and they do import, export, whatever. There are many, many examples of that. And then the international, where we've got the chance of, without any politics and discrimination and all that, to meet JCs in every corner of the world. Okay? So, for me, I have always taken advantage of this networking, and I have still in my office a box of thousands of business cards. Thousands of business cards. I kept it a lot of where I have around to the world and got friends. We exchanged cards, and that was fantastic. But I see that, and I thank JCI for that. We are not really putting aside. No, no. We are still being portrayed as example wherever we go. I will tell you a story, a small story, that once when I was working with Shell, there was a big meeting in Singapore in a hotel. And apparently there were two guys who were looking at me and say, hey, this is not the world president, this. He wasn't the world president. No, no. And finally they came to me, they said, sir, I think you were president of JCI. I said, yes, 1994 I was president and all that. So they were so happy, so amazed. And I can tell you that my visit in Singapore changed completely. These two guys, they looked for the JC friends. They brought me to restaurants, to pubs. Until I was in the plane, they were there and greeting me and all that. So another story I will tell you was in Zimbabwe. I was chairman of the post, and the minister, the Mauritian minister, couldn't attend. He told me, please represent me there as for Mauritius as minister. I went there, and I was so amazed because I said to myself, this is the first time I'm standing in a table where there is the Mauritian flag as a minister, you know, suppose representing the country. And then when I got back, I had to go to the Harare to take the plane. And in Victoria Falls, there is an airport. So I saw the minister of IT, supposed to be counterpart there of Zimbabwe. And he had this little JCI pin. Look at him, oh, this is a JCI member, minister. So I went to him, said, you are a JCI member? Yes, I'm a JCI member. I said, you know, I was the world president in 1994 of JCI. He looked at me like that. He said, oh, this guy is joking. World president here, whatever. The next morning, he went to check at night. The next morning, he came to me, first rushed to me and said, hey, Mr. President, yes, how are you, etc. So he discovered I was president. So then I took the opportunity. I tell him, you know, I have to travel by car to your capital and take the plane. When there is an airport, can you please arrange for me to get a seat so that I can go directly home and not to go? So then he called two guys, say, bring him to the airport and do the needful. So these are things, for example, that you will always benefit for JCs. They will never let you down. There is in international, it's strong. I have many examples like that. Strong international link. And it's not a question of color. It's not a question of religion. It's not a question of whatever. No. It's the love of our organization, the love of, and it's the brotherhood of men that transcend the sovereignty of nations. Exactly. Yes.
Okay, Mr. President, you spoke a lot about the business development area of opportunity. I can see that it was one of your favorites. Was this evolving landscape of leadership and entrepreneurship world we're in? So you believe that young professionals should join JCI today? Do you advise them to?
JCI is in competition now with a lot of NGOs, organizations. I can see it. The question is whether young people will really spend time. Things are very fast, they are very quick. And the problem is they look for positions. They say, I want to be local president, national president, VP, and I can see in a span of years, you can see a young member, oh, he's now local president, he's now whatever. And the thing is, we've got serious challenges for me that we have to think about. Yes, I will recommend somebody, anyone, to join our organization because it has brought a lot of to me, and I can see for others it has brought a lot. And I'm sure for you also, you must have really understood what it means to be a JCs and what are the opportunities and where you can take a lot of challenges, but they are rewarding. So yes, I will therefore recommend, but we have to probably go back to basics and see how we can really motivate our members. The problem is one is retention of the members. It's very tough. We have serious challenges, and probably we have to see how we can differentiate ourselves compared to other similar or organization for young people. But yet I see that JCI worldwide is still very active, very alive, and delivering a lot to respective communities. The problem is the thing that make me laugh very often is when I hear reports from JCI vice presidents or other leaders. In my times, it's the same thing. So we want to grow, growth, development, retention, lack of these programs. It's the same. It has not changed, believe me. But the organization is still there and is still really delivering and wonderful organization, JCI. Probably there are questions that need to be asked. For example, is 40 years old a good cutoff line? Shouldn't it be 45? A certain question I think we need to really ask ourselves, because before 40 years it was okay. Today 60 years is you are not old at 60. You are still very active, and so we need to sort of put some things on table and see for the future of the organization whether it would work if somebody is JC is still 45 years old. I'm just throwing that like that, but I would definitely recommend for any member any individual to join JCs. It has brought me a lot. Why not to others? But I have noticed that those who really are super motivated are those who have attended international conferences and work conferences. So these are the ones that when they come back, they want to go again, attend, and they understood how the organization operates, delivers, and function. Therefore, we should encourage JCs young to travel, to go, to attend. This is where really they will understand all about JCs.
As we're almost at the end of this insightful conversation that I'm enjoying very much, before we conclude, what message would you like to share with the current JCI members to inspire them to take on leadership roles, not to be scared?
Well, for me, JCs offers opportunities. You will see during your JC career life, there are opportunities that come on the table. You should take them. Because we are not in an organization that will condemn us for failure, for not being able to succeed or to attempt to a 100%, success. But these opportunities, whether we succeed or we fail, there will be always positive in it. So grasp every opportunities that the organization give you. Don't run after positions, run after delivering, serving the organization. Okay? You will, after some time, find your way, whether you want to go on a business angle, training, you will see. Training, you will see also whether you want to become more active in communities. So there are a lot of areas of opportunities which are there for you. It's a question of you knowing which one to pick, to choose. Try to, I have seen if there are some who are good entrepreneurs because they've been JCs, they run their own business, they know how to do it. They've got the networking, the training, the support, thanks to JCs. But it doesn't mean that they are not, that they fail somewhere in their JC career. On the contrary, to grasp opportunities, move forward, strive for excellence, be a leader in whatever field you think you are. And not everybody can become a world president. It's a fact. But having said that, the organization has probably produced leaders who are better than world presidents, so much better, sure. And for examples. And in terms of politics, you have a list of world leaders that went to school of JCI. And there is this example of JF Kennedy with his chair. You know this story about John Kennedy. There is a JCI at the back of his chair. There is a JCI logo. So because he understood that this helped him a lot in his life. And I think we will always be remembered, whatever position we have, if we are good leaders, and long live JCI, and long live our organization.
You
Thank
have
you
to
for
lead
your...
with love.
Yes?
You have to lead with love.
Yes. A lot of love.
Yes. President Arnaud, this has been... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I said be simple and humble.
Exactly. It has been a pleasure. I'm really honored to know you better, and I'm looking forward to meeting you somewhere around the world. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your advice, your shared experience. I'm sure members who will watch this will learn from you. They'll be very happy, they'll learn a lot, and they will benefit from your experience. And this is why we should have all the presidents around for many years to guide us and teach us and avoid problems or mistakes we can make from their experience. So thank you so much again. And listeners, thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in. And hopefully we will have more time to spend with the amazing leaders of JCI, especially the ones from Africa and the Middle East. Thank you.
Thank you.